All right, well, we are back here on the iWealth podcast, and we're talking about the hundreds and hundreds of sessions that you get to do with the folks that come in and out of your office.
Yeah.
And
over 28 years of it.
So a few sessions,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the question really revolves around how is it that you can set up an example for like the ideal situation for your clients when it comes to kind of setting the example for their kids, right? And how do you make that work when somebody's sitting in your office and they're asking you, like, you know, how do I do this for my kids so that I'm not screwing them up the same way that I was screwed up?
Yeah, you know, it's smart money habits is kind of what you're alluding to. And, you know, there's country songs out there that come to my mind where, you know, the son is taken after the dad and he's swearing and so the kid's swearing, or, you know, those type of things. And I think our kids emulate to be mom and dad a lot of the times, whether they'll tell you in person or not. I mean, you have Grace and my two kids, but I think an example is really, really important. And so one of the things that when I have a client ask me, it's like, okay, if they go to church and they're charitable type people, are they sharing that with their kids? Are they sharing that, you know, mom and dad make X amount and mom and dad is giving X amount to the church or to help a family on the street or whatever that is? So I think one money habit is giving. And I think it's the right thing to do. And so we talk to our clients about, like, are your kids partaking in this? And if they make money, are they giving some money? Just recently had a conversation with a young adult, and same thing, like, you're now making money, like, how much are you giving away a month? Because, you know, I believe in to much is given, as much is expected, and reciprocity and all the other stuff. So giving is one part of it. The other part is investing. And the quicker those kids can get to 10% investing, the better off they are. And I don't care if they're 15 years old and they've got a summertime job mowing yards or working at McDonald's or whatever. Try to get them to 10% of their money they take home that goes in a drawer or goes in an envelope or goes in a bank account or goes in an investment account that they save. Because if you can get that memory in their head, that if you can get that muscle going, that it's 10%, 10%, 10%, they're going to be better off. But the outside of that, when they're like, okay, I'm saving 10%, now where should it go? Then a lot of times we'll sit down with those clients' kids. And sometimes the clients will be with and sometimes they won't. And I just did this week, actually. So I had a client bring in their two children. One was in college and one was in high school. And we sat down and we wrote on the whiteboard what they were wearing, like Under Armour, Nike, where do you eat, Chipotle, McDonald's. Like, we just listed all this, like Starbucks, all the stuff that they like. And it was really fun. So we had like 20 names on the board. And we put some money in an account. Mom and dad put some money in an account. We wanted to teach them about investing and buying stocks and what that feels like in equity. And so I wrote, there's 3 different types of investments. There's cash, which is cash at a bank. There's bonds, which are loans. And there's stocks, which is own, which is equity. Anyway, so we get done. We pick 3 different stocks. And one of the children picked 3 technology type names. And the other child picked like 3 industrial names, like, you know, you'd ride in a car and those type of things. So it was kind of interesting. And we said, well, we'll see which one of you two win, out of your industrial names or out of your technology names. But now, so then they sat and they logged into their accounts. So they got a new account.
Yep.
They logged into their account. They have an app on their phone. They can see the shares that they bought, and they can start to watch that. And the conversation back to the kid is, listen, if you spent this money and you didn't have invested in XYZ stock, and you're out on your jet ski on Friday afternoon and the market goes up and you made $200 for riding your jet ski, that's a really cool thing. But if you had spent this money and never got in your account, if mom and dad would have spent that money and never put it in here, you wouldn't have made $200. So you have to save money and you have to let it compound. So anyway, those are some smart money habits that I enjoy having conversations with clients' kids about, you know, picking stocks. And it's always interesting to me to see what they're going to pick. I remember Kendra not wanting Facebook years ago because it was for old people. And now she has Facebook, so she must be old. So it's just really fun to have those. But I think giving for sure, and they lead by example. And get your 401k statement out. Show your kids that you're saving 10% in your 401k or 15% or whatever it is. Show them what compounding interest can be. They're going to learn from you, and they're going to trust you more than they're going to trust anybody else.
It's interesting because the conversation is only 20 or 30% based on what you're telling me, and 80% of it is actually doing it and having it as a routine, and it's the monkey see, monkey do thing.
Yeah.
Right? When your kids get to experience that, then all of a sudden you get to hit the home run, not only with teaching them, but teaching them by showing them how you're doing it.
Yeah. I remember driving, it was a Sunday, I don't remember how old I was, 14, 12, somewhere's in there, driving to church.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting in the truck and going to church, and I wanted a bike, and Mom and Dad said, well, that takes money. And I'm like, well, can't you just write a check? Like, I didn't have the philosophy in my head that there needed to be money in the bank in order to write a check to buy the bicycle. I learned a little bit of a smart money habit then, right? Or smart money. So we need to communicate with these kids. And there's all kinds of stuff online, but if they hear it from Mom and Dad, they're going to pick it up and they're going to follow.
Yep. It's all part of their DNA and who they are.
Yeah.
So, very cool. All right. Well, we will see you back here next time on the iWealth podcast.
All right. Thanks, Matt.